Why play Vladimir Mid? Well, he is a late game god. He's a beast in a team fight. He has amazing sustain, and he will often solo carry games by himself. However, his early game is far worse with very long cooldowns, and he doesn't bring any mobility or lockdown. Vladimir's passive is bonus health gives him additional ability power, and ability power gives him bonus health. Vladimir's Q is a point and click ability which deals damage to an enemy and restores health. After using this twice, Vladimir gains a small amount of movement speed, and his next use of Q deals additional damage and restores a good chunk more health. Vladimir's W turns him into a pool of blood, gaining decaying movement speed and becoming untargetable and ghosted. While a pool of blood, enemies on top of you take damage and are slowed while you heal for a portion of the damage dealt. Vladimir's E is a charged attack which will slow him while charging. This ability can be released early for reduced damage, and upon release he deals damage to all enemies around him and will slow targets if it was charged for at least 1 second. Vladimir's ultimate creates a pool on the floor which makes all enemies hit take 10% increased damage from all sources for 4 seconds. After this time, all enemies hit take a chunk of damage and Vlad restores health, getting a small amount additional health back for each champion hit after the first. For combos, a good all-in is to Q into ultimate before charging up your E, detonating it, and then turning into a pool of blood before using a Q on your way out. Another combo often used is to charge up your E and then flash detonate it into using ultimate. Follow this up with an auto attack into Q before turning into a pool of blood and then using Q again on your way out. For matchups, Vladimir does very well into burst champions where he can easily avoid their burst. However, he can struggle against mages with CC who can poke him and then lock him down. For runes, take this. Phase Rush greatly helps with its lack of mobility. For build order, start Dark Seal refillable into tier 2 boots and a Night Harvester. Follow this up with a Hat and Void Star for maximum damage before finishing your build with any of these. For skill order, start Q then E then W before maxing Q then E then W, taking ultimate whenever you can. For summoner spells, take Flash and Ghost. He needs all this extra mobility to get the most out of his kit. Starting the game, Vladimir is looking to farm safely and scale into a massive threat. Vladimir is unstoppable when he has 3 items, so he's looking to get to this point as fast as possible. Against champions who are naturally going to push the lane quickly like a Ziggs or Echo, let them. These champions will let you farm safely and scale into a late game god. However, if they're not hard pushing, you want to be the one hard pushing. Between your E and your W, you have the ability to shove waves in incredibly fast. This will allow you to get free backs or even spend your time taking a jungle camp to scale even faster. Where you are looking to hyperscale, this does not mean you're helpless at all. Your Q is absolutely oppressive. It's a point and click ability, so cannot miss, and simply the enemy loses health and you gain health. So whenever you can, use it on your opponent. And when Vladimir hits level 6, he now has incredible kill threat, and his all-in combo can absolutely delete champions. Entering the mid game, your bot lane will rotate mid, so you want to rotate bot to get the farm. However, Vlad is no split pusher, so push the lane out as safely as you can before regrouping with your team for an objective. Entering late game teamfights, you are now terrifying. Vladimir's role is simply the high damage dealer. You want to ultimate, then E as many champions as possible while using your Q and your pool to do silly amounts of damage to as many targets as possible. The sheer amount of damage he can put out and how safely he can put it out simply wins fights. And if he has Ghost available, he's able to simply keep sprinting around fights, dealing insane amounts of damage while healing himself massively.